In the beginning of the movie, we are shown a woman and a man on a date by the pool. Based on their conversation, we learned that they are both lifeguards at the park, and their names are Cindy and Brad. After they're of sand instead of going home, they linger around the premises to spend time together and cozy up on top of the waterslide. Not long after, a figure carrying a machete comes to them and brutally murder the two. Sometime later, the 2018 graduating class of Valley Hills High School are planning to hold their graduation event. Planned for the event to take place at a water park called Wet Valley. The idea was spouted by Alice, a Valley Hills High School alumni, who was also the one who came up with the entire event. Much like every other graduation event, all the seniors are excited about spending time together. Not only that they'd get to swim and ride water slides, they also plan to stay at the water park for 3 days. It is now that we get introduced to our protagonist, Josh. He and his friends, Chad and Slim, started a band called The Blades, and would perform sometime during the event. Later on, an old man named Conrad comes up to them. He tells them he works as both caretaker and maintenance technician at the water park. Despite having worked there for 35 years, he is still up and kicking. Several hours later, Josh, who are in the midst of practicing with his friends, happen upon Kim, who apparently is Josh's ex, who now works as a lifeguard. The small talk shared between Josh and Kim appear to render Kim's current boyfriend, Tommy, jealous. Well, if think about it. To Michael, who receives a call from his son, Josh, the protagonist. During the call, Josh deliberately asks his dad to come to the water park to watch him perform. We then get introduced to one of the people in charge of the park, Priscilla. She is a 1992 graduate of Valley Hills High School. Slim tells that he heard a rumor circulate amongst the students about Priscilla supposedly choosing one graduate to have sex with each year. The rest of the class are now enjoying the water park's main attraction, that is a set of really high and long water slide tunnels. All is good so far, and nothing appears out of the ordinary, at least until several bratty teams decide to go down the slide with a bottle of liquor in hand. The incident prompts Paul, the owner of Valley, to take action, and Conrad, the caretaker, to clean the pool from broken glass and blood. In the afternoon, Kim and Tommy happen to come across Josh, who are hanging out with Chad and Slim. Josh's friends summon Tommy to ask him to look for a cord extension. While Tommy get busy, set up the speaker and microphone cables, Josh opts to seize his opportunity to be alone with Kim in another area. Alone and sneaking behind Tommy's back, Kim and Josh start hooking up. Meanwhile, Josh's dad is having dinner with Priscilla. In the beginning, they are shown conversing, but with the agents aren't able to hear what they're saying at first. Based on their conversation, we learned that Priscilla is actually the wife of Paul, the owner of Wet Valley, while Michael, aka Josh's dad, is known a wealthy man in the area. During the dinner, Michael voices that Paul doesn't know that he's got something good sitting right in front of him. Some time passes, and now Josh and Kim are walking up to their friends as it is almost time for his band to perform. Several classmates are watching them from afar, and one of them says that something is going to happen to them. The seniors are now enjoying a perform by the Blades, who are performing 80s hits. Kim, who is watching, pretends to not like Josh's singing and condemns the loud noises their instruments make. Josh's dad and Priscilla attend to watch Josh perform. Up until this point, Tommy is still unaware of the fact that his girlfriend cheated on him. But then it turns out that one of the seniors had recorded Josh and Kim hooking up and has now shares the video in the seniors group chat. Tommy sees the video and gets understandably furious. He runs up to the stage and beats Josh in front of everyone. Okay. That's it. You're fire. Get out of here. You're all dead. Thanks, escal. Late even further. When Priscilla catches her husband cheating with Alice, the girl in the beginning of the movie. Later on, Michael walks up to his son, Josh, and tries to calm him down. He then asks Josh's opinion about his idea to purchase the water park. Unbeknownst to them, Alice is eavesdropping, and she heard everything. She proceeds to find Paul and reprimands him for negotiating to sell the water park. Alice, who is Paul's mistress, is insecure as she feels that Paul might leave her after receiving the money he earns from the negotiation. The drunk, Paula assures her that there is no way he would sell the water park as it is his only source of income. Several hours after, the seniors are resting up for the night, and no one is out and about, except for one person who breaks into one of the water slides, to install a pair of large metal blades arranged in an X shape inside. Even worse, on the next day, Michael, who is walking around surveying the area, is apparently being followed by a mysterious figure. Stop it. Anything you want. I'll give you whatever you want. What do you want? Michael gets shot in the leg and is then taken to the shed. As it turns out, the shed also contains Cindy and Brad's dead bodies, aka the two lifeguards from the beginning of the film. In the next scene, we learned that Tommy has been fired from his job and Kim just dumped him. Shortly after, Conrad comes up to him and tells him that Kim no longer cares for him. However, Tommy still holds out hope because he loves her. After lunchtime, Conrad, the water park caretaker, runs the water that goes down the water slides. At this point, no one is aware of the metal blades inside of the slides. Meanwhile, Priscilla, who also works there, opts to spend her time hooking up with Slim instead of doing her job. In the afternoon, all the seniors are excited to participate in a fun competition with a $500 prize. They would be split into teams and will compete for the fastest to slide down the water slides. Naturally, Josh teams up with Chad and Slim. However, Slim is still nowhere to be found. They instead see Tommy, who suddenly comes up to them despite having been fired from his job. Tommy tells them that he comes not as an employee, but as a visitor now, and he is also taking part in the competition. The rest of the seniors don't seem too fond of the idea and won't let him join. With Slim still nowhere in sight, Josh and Chad decide to ask him to team up with him. Not long after, Tommy, who had nothing better to do than stand around, notices something amiss. He takes note of a trail of water leaking out of one of the slides. He also finds remnants of the water slide's material, meaning someone has poked holes at the slide. While all the seniors are lining up to get to the top of the slides, Conrad is chilling by the pool waiting for the competition to start. While this is going on, Tommy, who is now convinces that one of the slides has been tampered with, begins trying to discourage everyone from going down the slides. Unfortunately, the seniors brush him off as they already think of him as a party pooper. Organizers and the pool caretakers. To ensure everything would go well, Priscilla communicates with Conrad, who is guarding below. Of course, neither are aware of the blades installed inside one of the slides. Tommy is relentless. He still tries to inform Priscilla that everyone's in danger. Unfortunately, nobody believes him, and the competition commences. One of the annoyed seniors even pushed Tommy down the slide. At the same time, 3 girls are going down the same slide, and as expected, they are instantly mutilated by the blades. Below, number 3 has turned red, followed by mutilated limbs sliding down. The rest of the visitors shriek in horror, while Conrad sprains his ankle while he rushes down his lifeguard seat. Meanwhile, Tommy, who was pushed down the slide earlier, has now almost reached the metal blades. He has no choice but to cross his fingers and hope nobody else slides down after him. At the same time, Conrad immediately Priscilla to stop the competition. And just so happens, their walkie-talkies are not working properly. Hence, Priscilla remains blissfully aware of the chaos below, and instead invites Paul to slide down. Paul takes the doom slide number 3. At the same time, Josh now rushes upstairs. Asks everyone to stop going down the slides. Paul, who is in the midst of going down the slide, proceeds to try to keep from sliding down further. Something wrong in the tunnel? Meanwhile, the 2 senior girls and Tommy, who are already crammed down the blades, get pushed down further and die. Nobody certainly expects that all this fun and games would turn this bloody. Amidst the panic, Conrad asks Chad and Kim to shut down the water pumps in the shed. But upon entering the shed, they stumble upon the dead bodies of Josh's father, Michael, along with the 2 lifeguards. Back to the slides, Paul can no longer hold on due to the rush of water. Sorry, Ted. He slides down and falls victim to the horrific blades as well. Following the massacre, Josh is informed by a lawyer that his father has left him quite an inheritance. However, one thing his father has not yet finalized is the purchase of the Valley Water Park, which he had planned to demolish to make space for a $20 million shopping complex. Since Paul, the owner, died in the inn as well, that makes Priscilla the sole recipient of the money made from the transaction. The film ends with Priscilla smiling, followed with her memory showing her father accidentally died at this park years ago, with no one was even bothered to help him. She witnessed the entire thing when she was still a girl, and we can conclude that the culprit behind all the 2018 is Priscilla. She most likely concocted an elaborate plan, perhaps as a form of revenge, and simply to gain an inheritance.